in the Valley today, we're following breaking news for you this morning. The search continues for a man and woman who allegedly tried to rob an apartment owner while wearing their Halloween costumes.
And the hunt for an Oklahoma man suspected of killing two relatives and shooting two officers ends in another deadly shootout.
And I'll let you know what trick-or-treaters can expect for tonight on this Halloween.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is the Valley Today on Fargo CW.
Hey, very good Monday morning, everyone, and a very happy Halloween to you. Thank you so much for waking up with the Valley Today. Just past 7 a.m. now. I'm Kyle Bosch here with Lisa Bedeau. We are following some breaking news overnight on an attempted robbery. Police are looking for two people who were dressed in Halloween costumes and tried to steal someone's wallet from a North Fargo apartment. Officers were called out to the 700 block of 29th Street North for a disturbance just after 10:30 last night.
Police say a man and woman went into an apartment and tried to take someone's wallet, but the pair left empty-handed when neighbors started yelling. Police set up a perimeter and brought in a canine unit to help with the search, but didn't find anyone in the area. Police have not released a description of the man and woman, but we are working to get more information. Stay with Valley News Live for the latest on this breaking story.
Also breaking for you this morning, one person is being treated for injuries after a rollover crash on I-29 in Fargo. It was reported just before 6 this morning.
The Valley Today's traffic reporter Al Ahmet tells us the scene south of 52nd Avenue South's bridge is now clear, as state troopers and the car involved in that rollover are now gone from the scene.
Well, time we have first check of our weather, and of course, everyone is really paying attention to that trick-or-treating forecast. An important night, and it sounds like for the most part, we're in for a nice treat from the weather.
Yeah, exactly. More treat than trick, that's for sure. I do have a little wind out there this morning, and that's going to stick with us throughout the day. But otherwise, our trick-or-treat forecast does look pretty fantastic. It won't be too creepy out there as far as the weather is concerned. Expect some pretty good conditions this afternoon, temperatures into the 60s, and we'll see those temperatures dropping throughout the evening hours, back into the 50s by the time trick-or-treating is ending. Again, a bit on the windy side. This is the Southern Valley. Northern Valley, different story. We'll show you that in a moment. We're mainly on the quiet side. However, there's a couple of sprinkles moving through, some scattered light rain showers. Heavier stuff over by Devil's Lake. You're probably getting some scattered rain showers going on there. That will be passing by to the north. 43 right now in Fargo and in Grand Forks. Visibility is down because of some foggy weather up in the north and toward the west. We're down to a mile visibility in Valley City and a mile and a quarter to the Cooperstown area. This afternoon and into this evening, notice how nice it's going to be in the south. Some 60s there, up in the north, more into the 40s and 50s for you, thanks to the cloud cover hanging around. We may even see a couple of sprinkles right along the international border. The most of the rain should stay to the north of the valley here for us this evening, but warmer temperatures in the south. So if you live in the north and over toward the east, you'll definitely want to maybe add that extra layer to your costume here. This evening, though, not bad at all. We'll see temperatures that make their way into the upper 60s. Average high this time of year, I think, is around 48, so we're doing all right at that number. And ahead for the rest of the forecast this week, not bad, into the 50s for your work week ahead, and even this weekend looking pretty good too. Not bad for the first week of November.
Very nice. It doesn't look like a November. Nice fall weather here.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
lasting. Thank you, Lisa.
We are following more breaking news for you this morning. A week-long manhunt for Oklahoma murder suspect Michael Vance is now over. The Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office says Vance was killed overnight in a shootout with police. The massive search for Vance started 8 days ago after authorities say he killed his aunt and uncle, shot two police officers, and was then involved in multiple carjackings.
Law enforcement officers tracked him down after someone reported seeing his car. One police officer was shot during the shootout, but is expected to be okay. Developing this morning, authorities have a suspect in custody in the deadly shooting of a western Wisconsin sheriff's deputy.
The Rusk County Sheriff's Office says the man surrendered yesterday and formal charges are pending. Authorities have identified the deputy killed Saturday as 33-year-old Dan Glaze. Officials say Glaze was shot while responding to a call about a suspicious vehicle. The Minnesota State Patrol is investigating a deadly crash between a pickup and semi that happened in central Minnesota. The State Patrol says it happened just after 9 a.m. yesterday at the intersection of Highway 71 and 380th Street in Wadena County.
58-year-old Jeffrey Arendt from Eagle Bend was heading east on 380th Street when he collided with a semi heading north on the highway. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The semi driver was taken to the hospital, but the State Patrol says he was not seriously hurt in the crash. A Frazee, Minnesota woman is recovering this morning after being hurt in a sideswipe crash on Highway 10 in Becker County, Minnesota.
It happened just after 6:15 last night. The State Patrol says 23-year-old Miranda Stinkney of Frazee was headed west down the highway when she sideswiped an SUV while changing lanes. Stinkney was taken to a Detroit Lakes hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, the temperatures are beginning to get a little bit cooler around the valley, and that means more of us are heading out early to start up our vehicles and warm them up before the drive to work.
Yes, but Fargo police are reminding us to keep car doors locked, even if you're starting the vehicle a little early. There have been almost 400 car break-ins just in Fargo just since the beginning of the year, and police say a lot of them could have been prevented. Officers are reminding people not to leave anything in your vehicle that could attract attention, like a wallet or purse. And if you have to park outside, try to park in a well-lit area. After a violent clash between law enforcement and Dakota Access Pipeline protesters last week, tribal leaders in North Dakota are calling for protection. On Thursday, authorities arrested more than 140 people as they worked to clear out a camp set up on private property south of Mandan. Tribal leaders have said more than 40 people were hurt and have called on the United Nations to send troops to protect the Native American protesters.
Authorities, however, say that they were patient with protesters who were illegally blocking a highway and gave them plenty of time to leave. But they say they were forced to use more force to respond to so-called agitators within the group.
We had over 40 people that were injured. Is this wrong to use that type of force on innocent people on our land?
What is missing is what led up to that. What forced law enforcement's hand into reacting to that situation, putting officers in harm's way.
Now, police tell Valley News Live that they will protect a demonstrator's right to protest as long as it is done peacefully and lawfully. In our election 2016 coverage this morning, the FBI has now obtained a search warrant to begin looking through thousands of newly discovered emails, some of which could be related to the investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server while Secretary of State.
The emails were found on the laptop of top Clinton aide Huma Abedin. She allegedly shared that laptop with her estranged husband, former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. The late October surprise is shaking up the tight presidential race between Clinton and Donald Trump just 8 days to the election. Hannah Daniels has the latest from New York.
As Hillary Clinton trying to move past the latest chapter into her email scandal,
I'm not stopping now. We're just getting warmed up, right?
Donald Trump thanked the disgraced former New York congressman at the center of the investigation.
We never thought we were going to say thank you to Anthony Weiner.
Running mate Mike Pence praised FBI Director James Comey for alerting Congress about the newly discovered emails last week, against the wishes of Attorney General Loretta Lynch.
The FBI stepping forward at this moment has demonstrated real integrity.
On Sunday, Democrats, including Clinton's running mate Tim Kaine, blasted Comey for penning the letter.
Donald Trump says, oh, they're reopening the investigation. That's not what the letter said. The letter was so confusing that it was hard to know exactly what it said.
Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid went a step further, accusing Comey of breaking the law. In a letter to the FBI director, Reid wrote, I am writing to inform you that my office has determined that these actions may violate the Hatch Act, which bars FBI officials from using their official authority to influence an election. Despite the FBI announcement, many Democratic voters say their minds are already made up.
We just love that she fights for women.
The level of that email is nothing to the craziness level of a guy like Trump.
In the latest CBS News poll, just 5% of Democrats say they're less likely to support Clinton now. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Now, over the summer, Comey had announced that the FBI would not be seeking any criminal charges against Clinton over her use of that private server while Secretary of State.
Officials on both sides of the aisle are calling on him to release more information about the emails found on Weiner's laptop as soon as possible. Early voting starts today for people in Cass County, and here's what you need to know if you want to cast your ballot early. In Fargo, you just have to head over to the Baymont Inn on 13th Avenue South or the Fargo Dome in North Fargo.
Voters in West Fargo can go to the Cambria Suites on East Beaton Drive, and people in Castleton can vote at the Days Inn, though voting there doesn't start until Wednesday. The polls will be open from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. for that early voting. Well, there is a danger lurking for little kids with a do-it-yourself Halloween project that uses those popular orange laundry pod containers. Coming up next on The Valley Today, a big warning from Consumer Reports about why this treat could turn toxic.